Sanskrit is not a language, but it is a repository of knowledge. Today, this is knowledge age. If you have abundant knowledge, you are wealthy.
Knowledge is wealth.
Yes, knowledge is the wealth. In such context, Sanskrit means knowledge, and you have knowledge, you are wealthy.
Like spoken Sanskrit is the best way.
Best way. This is how all languages are learned across the world.
For anybody to learn spoken Sanskrit, where to apply?
Yes. Any place, give 10 days, 2 hours per day. Within 20 hours, you will be able to speak, understand, create your own Sanskrit sentences. This is how spoken Sanskrit is taught within 20 hours. Grand narrative is given. That Sanskrit is an outside language.
Yeah.
Language
Never belonged to Bharat.
Never belonged to Bharat. And this is Arya's language. Aryans came from
Central Asia.
Central Asia. This story is cooked. This story has become part of our syllabus, and every child goes through that.
Actually, people say Sanskrit is so difficult to learn because it's so Shastriya Bhasha. The Sanskrit grammar is so difficult to understand. So, if you want to learn Sanskrit, you have to go to a forest, do tapasya, and learn Sanskrit.
If you are a student of Sanskrit, you will never be a jobless.
We can guarantee that.
Guarantee that.
So, Vanakkam Pesu viewers, today we have a very special guest joining us in our exclusive podcast today, Mr. Shrinivasa Varkhedi, the Vice Chancellor of Central Sanskrit University. He has come all the way from Delhi to our studio. We warmly extend our greetings to him. Vanakkam sir. Welcome to the show.
Vanakkam, namaskar. Pesu Tamila, Pesu Parvayala, Vanakkam.
So sweet of you. So, being the Vice Chancellor of Central Sanskrit University, one of the esteemed institutions in India, there is a very prominent question prevailing in the society now. Why Sanskritam? There are so many avenues for students to learn. There are so many languages. So, in the era of globalization, why Sanskritam according to you?
Yes, it is quite a good question. Nowadays, many young students ask me this question. Earlier in 1970s, my student days, people used to ask this question, why Sanskrit? In those days, when people ask this question, why Sanskrit, means what is the use of Sanskrit? But over the period, when we see last 2 decades, I'm in this field, people have forgotten that question.
Okay.
Now people ask, how Sanskrit? That means there is a big leap change in the perception about Sanskrit. Still, we need to answer the question, why Sanskrit?
Yeah, definitely.
See, Sanskrit is not just a language. It is more than a language. People used to tell me, if you want to know India's past, you must know Sanskrit. But today, I would like to answer this question. If you want to create future for India, you must learn Sanskrit.
Okay.
That's how we want to connect Sanskrit with the future, not with the past. Anyway, like Tamil, anyone knows, and Sanskrit, it's a very ancient language of India.
Yeah.
If at all you want to touch the roots of India, you must learn these 2 languages. And these languages make you to be a proud Indian. And every Indian now wants to be known as Bharatiya in the world. You know, for a Tamilian, Tamil is very important for him. It is an identity, right? For a Kannadiga, Kannada is an identity.
Definitely.
For Malayalam is an identity. Without his language, he cannot, make him present before the world. Today, Sanskrit is such identity.
Okay.
That means for an Indian, if at all you want to be called as Bharatiya, then you must know Bharati. The oldest name of Sanskrit is Bharati.
Okay.
So, unless you know Bharati, you cannot say that you are a Bharatiya. Therefore, according to me, Sanskrit is an identity. Therefore, we must learn Sanskrit. The other very pragmatic answer, Sanskrit is not a language, but it is a repository of knowledge.
Okay.
Today, this is knowledge age. If you have abundant knowledge, and you are wealthy. Your wealth is considered based on your knowledge and wisdom.
Knowledge is wealth.
Yes, knowledge is the wealth. In such context, Sanskrit means knowledge, and you have knowledge and you are wealthy.
You posed another question, how Sanskritam? Now you tell me, for any common man, how to learn Sanskritam, which is the best way to learn?
Yes.
Because there are so many ways, like we can apply for a degree, there are so many avenues for learning Sanskritam, which is the best avenue?
See, to answer this question, I would ask you one more question to you.
Okay.
People, when they learn English, last 200 years we are learning English in India, and we know how to learn English. And this is the only one method. If you don't speak that language, you can't learn that language. No. It's a language acquisition, it is not learning language. People won't say learning, I am learning Tamil. No, I am acquiring the usage of Tamil, right? Language acquisition is possible, not learning. If you learn something which is outside, if you acquire something which becomes yourself, then language learning is possible only through that language. One possible way is learning through Sanskrit Samskrita Madhyam Sanskrit. So without using Sanskrit medium, you cannot say that I can learn Sanskrit. Therefore, my urge would be, how Sanskrit means, through Sanskrit medium you should learn Sanskrit. That is the only way.
How Sanskrit medium when you don't know Sanskrit itself?
Yes.
Usually the fundamental question, right?
Yes, how nowadays kids are learning English in the kindergarten. Are they going through Tamil? No. Without using Tamil in the classroom, simply by using English words, the students are learning Sanskrit, English. Similarly, Sanskrit is possible. Sanskrit learning is possible through Sanskrit medium. Because Sanskrit is part of our all Indian languages. Be it Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, any language speaking boy or girl can acquire Sanskrit without any much efforts. It's very easy language because most of the words are known, therefore language acquisition will be easy.
So through Sanskrit, like spoken Sanskrit is the best way.
Best way.
Okay.
This is how all languages are learnt in across the world.
Okay. For anybody to learn spoken Sanskrit, where to apply?
Yes, there are two ways. One is very informal way and other one is formal way. If you want to create an informal way of learning environment, you go to Sanskrit Bharati.
Sanskrit Bharati.
Okay, Sanskrit Bharati is not just an organization; it's a platform where you can. There is an environment within the Sanskrit Bharati group, and any place give 10 days, 2 hours per day. Within 20 hours, you will be able to speak, understand, and create your own Sanskrit sentences. This is how spoken Sanskrit is taught within 20 hours.
Okay.
So this is the basic. I mean, once you complete this basic course program, you will enter into a new world of Sanskrit community, where you can use Sanskrit, and even within 6 months, people have learnt Sanskrit, even reading, writing, and expressing in Sanskrit in the best way. So therefore, I don't think that Sanskrit is possible within 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
In informal way. If you want to really construct an formal education for yourself, customize an education, there are so many opportunities nowadays, including online education, and universities like us, Central Sanskrit University offers more than 45 programs from 0 level to level 10, level 12 through online.
Okay.
So it is Mukta Swadhyay Peetham. It is open and online education platform where you can register yourself. You don't know any Sanskrit, but you can start from Ucharana and writing, reading, and then step by step within 6 months, then one year program, then 2 years program, even UG program, PG program. Through that you can reach PhD program.
Okay.
So that's how we have created a formal education system for Sanskrit learners. Apart from this, many online portals are available, apps are available. People are learning and offering Sanskrit programs.
So you would have witnessed the transformation of Sanskrit like from nowhere to everywhere now. Now you tell me, you would have seen students for a very long period of time.
Yes.
Now the interest in them to learn Sanskrit, has it increased or not? Like, are many students taking up Sanskrit as course in your university and in many other institutions? Are they coming up to take forward the Sanskrit language?
Yes, according to me, I was a student here in 40 years back.
Okay.
I can compare the scenario the then and today.
So you were a student of which college?
See, actually I completed my very kinder age schooling in regular school. After that my parents wanted me to study Sanskrit Shastras in a Gurukula model. So I went to a Gurukula in Bangalore, where I spent 12 years of my almost when I was 23, 24, I completed my studies, Shastra studies. Basically it was meant for Shastra Adhyayana. Therefore my Sanskrit study was not a language study. I studied Shastras, Sanskrit was a medium for me.
Okay.
That's how I learned Sanskrit. So
you learned Shastra through Sanskrit?
Yes. It's
So
a Gurukula model.
the Avagamana, the understanding of Shastra would be much more higher than
Yes.
learning Shastra through English or Tamil.
Yes, because we were taught regular kavyas, then Vyakarana, then Nyaya Shastra, then Sahitya Shastra, then Mimamsa, and then we had Shastra Adhyayana in Vedanta, Sankhya, all Shaddarshanas basically. My core study was in Nyaya Shastra, that is logic. And therefore, these Shastras were studied in Sanskrit medium. Therefore, Sanskrit was part of my entire Gurukula education.
Okay.
So that's how I learned Shastra. But in those days, even the number was very less for Shastra Adhyayana. Even today, if I look at the number of students who are coming to learn Shastras. In those days, people used to think that going to Sanskrit means going to be a priest in the temple.
Okay.
They didn't know, and my own parents were asked by the community, what are you going to do after this study, and this boy may be a priest in the temple. And they did not know what to answer.
The potential of Sanskrit.
Potential of Sanskrit. After my studies, I went to do my research to the IIT Hyderabad, Central University of Hyderabad,
Okay.
where we taught, my and my friend both were there in IIT for 2 years. We taught the professors and other research scholars there Nyaya Shastra. And in turn we learned computer science. So within 2 years we were conversant with the Sanskrit computational linguistics, the community of computational Sanskrit linguistics. Therefore Sanskrit was considered to be very close associate of computer science students. In those days research was beginning, and we did that research, that's how we could contribute to the computational linguistics, development of computational linguistics.
So I asked you the number of takers of Sanskrit in colleges, universities, has it risen?
In one sense,
like just say 10 years ago and now.
Okay. So in one sense, there is a difference, couple of differences I noted. Earlier, students used to come in good number, but one particular community.
Okay.
And people in a traditional way, somebody used to have his own tradition. Dadaji used to be a Pandit, and his grandson used to come to the Sanskrit colleges. Nowadays, that's not scenario. You can see from all sort of communities, students are coming. Especially girls are coming. Number of girls in the colleges has significantly increased. It is almost doubled. And very young girls are coming for Sanskrit studies. In those days, when I was a teacher in Tirupati University, Tirupati National Sanskrit Vidyapeeth, there were hardly around 1,000 students. Now, we can't give admission to the many students. More than 3,000 to 5,000 students are learning. That means there is a huge number has increased. But there is another perception that in those days, many colleges were functioning in the local levels, in district levels. Those colleges are now closed. That number has been pushed to the universities in other places. But apart from this, the number has increased in many IITs and IIMs, and the students of engineering are also interested to learn Sanskrit. Many places people have good access to the online programs. Apart from that, the local centers for learning have increased. They are also offering good programs. In that sense, number has significantly increed.
Okay, so while talking, you mentioned about Sanskrit being stereotyped as one particular community's bhasha. Now, is the stereotype breaking, or the barrier is still existing?
No, I should tell you, with the efforts of Sanskrit Bharati and even other communities, today a girl comes from a small village, a tribal village, and she does her in entire family and from the ages, nobody has even heard the name of Sanskrit. Today she is learning Sanskrit, she is one of the best scholars. That means if you see in Sanskrit fraternity, you can see the students from all communities. If you go to our EXCLUSIVEఆக campus in Agartala, Tripura, more than 50% students are coming from tribal communities. They never heard of Sanskrit, but today they are learning Sanskrit. And this is not one scenario. In the entire India, Bharat, this is the reality that we can now see from all communities. Sanskrit learners are increased.
Do you think there is an agenda behind those who are intending to limit Sanskrit to a particular community?
Of course.
I would like to list the allegations on Sanskrit one by one. So first, it's a Jati Bhasha.
Yes.
Okay. Next, it's not a language which can be used as a tool of communication. It can be used only as mantrik form. The mantras can be learned from Sanskrit, but not it can be used as a medium of communication. What's your reply to them?
It's very simple. It was a great agenda. You can go through the book called Beautiful Tree, Dharampalji, and he has listed how many pathashalas and the local schools, they were offering Sanskrit as a medium in entire South Indian itself. More than 5,000 pathashalas he has listed. This is a great agenda because people wanted to break India. It started with the Muslim invaders. Okay. After that, the Britishers very categorically they wanted to break India. Grand narrative is given that the Sanskrit is an outside language.
Never belonged to
Bharat. And this is Arya's language. Aryans came from
Central Asia.
This story is cooked. This story has become part of our syllabus. And every child goes through that. Every child of first and second or third class in the entire nation goes through this story. And once he goes through story, he thinks that Sanskrit is not mine. Okay. And then there is another big agenda. They wanted to break the India from north and south. Okay.
Even in Tamil Nadu,
Dravidian language.
Even in Tamil Nadu, they say Sanskrit is not the Dravidian language, it's Arya language, it's not the North India's language.
Okay. Today, we have coined new word, Bharatiya Bhasha Parivar. Okay. Bharatiya Bhasha Parivar. These languages belong to one Parivar. Okay. In one Parivar, the brothers and sisters may have different tastes, different colors, different identities, but that doesn't mean that they are they don't belong to one family. It's quite possible. Therefore, now we need to create new narrative. Sanskrit it's a victim of such narratives. And who has lost with these narratives? Indians. Therefore, today, in order to come out of these narratives, we need to stand by our own identity.
Definitely. So you would be an appropriate person to answer my next question, which is you would have travelled across the length and breadth of the country. You are still travelling. Are you seeing any similarities between the local regional languages and Sanskrit? The similarities between the local languages and Sanskrit?
Yes, of course. See, I can show my own example. See, by birth, I am a Kannadiga. In my family, people used to speak Marathi.
Okay.
Then I know Kannada, Marathi, Sanskrit because
Yeah.
English I know, Hindi I know, 5 languages. Okay, after that I know Tulu because regionally Tulu friends.
So you belong to Tulunad or
No, Tulunad friends were with me.
Friends.
So therefore I know them. And then because I stayed in Bangalore for many years and in Tirupati and Hyderabad, I know Malayalam, Tamil and Telugu, these 3 languages. So Telugu I can speak, Tamil I know.
you can understand?
Yes. Therefore, easily I acquire knowledge of 7 to 9 languages without any much effort, right? Even now, my campuses are situated across India, from Jammu, Kashmir to northeast to in south we have in Thrissur. Students come from different states. For example, in Thrissur, a student comes from Odisha. He knows Vadiya, Sanskrit, and because he studies in Kerala, then he knows Malayalam, Hindi, English, minimum 5 languages. Each of my students know minimum 5 languages. This is the beauty of Sanskrit, because they get the knowledge of these local languages just because they are good in Sanskrit.
Yeah, I have heard from many people saying that if you learn Sanskrit, it will be easier for you to learn other Bharatiya
Bhashas, because this is the I gave.
So is this the reality?
Reality. Yes, I am not giving any. These are the examples where you can find the. I am not giving you the academic data, but I am giving the outcome. So this is the outcome. So one who knows Sanskrit can know any of Indian languages easily.
So I ask you about the similarities. Are you seeing the similarities between Bharatiya Bhashas as you travel?
See, across India, when I go and speak to many people, whenever I speak to my own students, sometimes I ask them, speak in your own language. Okay, you can ask me any question.
I test myself whether I can understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When and I answer them in my own language, English, Hindi, Tamil, Sanskrit I answer, but I don't answer them in their own language, but I understand their questions. And most of the time 60 to 70% I get it. That means Sanskrit words are spread across Indian languages, minimum 60%. Somewhere it may be 50-40% down, but definitely across Indian languages I can find 60% of words from Sanskrit.
Okay, that is also another narrative, that if Sanskrit is rising in particular place, then the regional language will get destroyed on its own.
See, I always give one analogy. In Ramayanam, there is an event when all these monkeys, Vanara Sena was under the clutches of one astra by Meghnad, Mohanastra. Then everybody went to sleep, and nobody was awakened. Then there was a danger. Then one went to Jambavan and asked him whether this Vanara Sena can again get up, then fight for the Rama. Then she asked whether Hanuman Jivati, whether Hanuman is still living, he is alive. Then yes, then everyone is alive. Okay. This is the answer. That means if Sanskrit today, with the Mohanastra I would say of English, all Indian languages are in deathbed. Not because of Sanskrit. Sanskrit has always been a language of nourishment. It nourished all Indian languages, because Sanskrit is like elderly sister. And the elderly sister at home will always nourish the younger ones. And English is the language which tried to kill Indian languages.
Okay, yeah, I have the same opinion.
Right?
It's killing, even Tamil it's killing.
Why you are bringing Sanskrit here? Sanskrit, even today, spoken Sanskrit has become enemy for Tamil. If you speak Sanskrit well and you can speak Tamil well,
it's complementary.
It is complementary, and if you love Tamil, you are a true Tamilian.
Okay.
You are true Indian. Then you love Sanskrit also.
Okay. Actually, there are many blind people who are closing their eyes and saying Sanskrit is a dead language, and it has died multiple years ago. So, are they really blind, or is Sanskrit really dead? Like, it's reviving. We can see the revival of Sanskrit everywhere. It's so evident. But still, some people are they acting blind?
There are two answers.
Yeah.
One is, see, Sanskrit has never died.
Okay.
Because even today, Sanskrit, the good creations are coming in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is very creative. People are
Creations in the sense films, short movies.
not only that. Even in Sanskrit, people write poems. People write creative writings. You know. This is the sign of a living language. Okay, number one. Number two, in any of Indian languages, if you want to coin a new terminology, new word, you must be dependent on Sanskrit roots. This is another sign that if you want to create a new word in your own language, you are totally dependent on Sanskrit. That means Sanskrit is giving you the life.
Okay.
It is giving you the power of living.
It will be so easy to understand if you can
Yes,
give
source.
some example, like particular example.
For example, today there is a huge demand for scientific terminologies in our own languages. When we want to teach sciences and technologies and new world sciences in our own mother tongue, we want to create new terminologies. Okay. For example, Jala Janaka, this is a word. And what is Jala? This is Jala Janaka means H2O.
Okay.
This is H is called hydrogen is called Jala Janaka. These two words are from Sanskrit. H is hydrogen. Hydrogen, either I should use hydrogen in my language or I should create some word. Though the equivalent word comes from Sanskrit, and most of the Indian languages are using this Sanskrit terminology.
Okay.
They don't think that it is from Sanskrit because they think that Jala is used, like Neer is used in their own language. Tamil uses Neer, right? Neer.
Yeah, Neer.
Neer. It is original Neeram, Sanskrit. That means we don't understand that it is from Sanskrit because it is so natural for us. We use these terms.
So it's intertwined in the Tamil society.
Yes.
The term.
Yeah. No, nobody understands this from Sanskrit. It is quite Tamil Thai Neer.
Actually, people say Sanskrit is so difficult to learn because it's so Shastriya Bhasha. The Sanskrit grammar is so difficult to understand. So if you want to learn Sanskrit, you have to go to a forest, do tapasya and learn Sanskrit. So is this the case? So I can see Sanskrit is so
Sanskrit
easy.
is not a difficult language, but Sanskrit learning has been made difficult.
Okay, by the pre-existing model.
Yes, that's what I am telling you. Sanskrit is, any language for that matter, is not hard. Even Tamil is very simple language, right?
Yeah.
Every child learns Tamil. If at all I want to make Tamil difficult, my methodology is made difficult, then Tamil becomes difficult.
Okay.
Right? If I teach Tamil in an easy way, I can do so. If I want to make Tamil very hard and difficult,
That is also option.
there is also option. I can start teaching you Tamil grammar. Okay. If I start teaching you Tamil grammar, then you will say Tamil is very hard. Right? That's what the people made it. People started teaching Sanskrit through grammar. That's not the way. Any language acquisition is possible through simple speaking. And once people get it, then they can, for higher level understanding of the language, you use grammar. For that matter, any grammar is very difficult. Okay, be it Tamil grammar, Kannada grammar, Sanskrit grammar, it is difficult.
Okay.
Through grammar model of learning is difficult, not the Sanskrit.
Okay. So the method
is difficult.
Okay. So there are so many people living across the world, like abroad. They are learning Sanskrit now, and I can see many young enthusiastic faces who are eager to learn Sanskrit, like across the world. What are their options to learn Sanskrit? Like in India, you can approach Sanskrit Bharati, as said by you. There are many courses, especially Sanskrit University. And there are so many universities. What are the options for people who are living abroad?
Yes, actually, this is the decade. I would say
Golden era.
yes, for Sanskrit learners, for that matter, any language learners. Today, you can sit in London or Russia, in Russia, any city, small city of Russia, and you can learn Kannada, Tamil, any language. Okay, and opportunities are through communication method, through internet, we can learn anything. Sanskrit is also available through many modes. One is formal mode, as I said, Central Sanskrit University is offering many courses, formal programs. People.
What is the basic eligibility?
No eligibility, and anyone who wants to learn Sanskrit can start his learning from the zero level and without any background. Just come and apply, and the day one, without any basic knowledge, you can start learning Sanskrit. That's the method. Okay. Second thing,
for foreigners,
even for foreigners. Second thing, there are many institutions, even private and small communities, like in Western countries, many of our Indian communities like Chinmaya Mission, Ramakrishna Mission, and many other yoga institutions also started offering courses in Sanskrit. Sanskrit Bharati and many other organization, sisterly organization of Sanskrit Bharati have started offering courses, local level courses in many countries. We have now, according to my own estimation, more than 125 countries we have people who can teach Sanskrit. My own experience of going to US and Australia right now. Last month I had been to Australia for 10 days. To my own surprise, at least I met 500 children who are learning Sanskrit. 500 children, and many of them, you would not believe, at least 60 of them are learning grammar and Tarka Sangraha, and that's a logic, very hard logic they are learning in Sanskrit. They are school going children, and some of them have by hearted the entire Bhagavad Gita,
all the shlokas.
Yes,
okay,
hundreds. I have seen hundreds. I am not one or two. This is how in the West or in the many other countries, Indian children have taken interest learning Sanskrit as part of their curricula, and I don't think that there is a dearth of opportunities in any country.
Is there any dual degree possibility of learning Sanskrit? Because
correct.
In the contemporary world, we can see one taking up BCom, like engineering, like doctor, graduates are there. Are there any dual degree possibilities?
This is a good question. What happened recent days when national education policy has been introduced in India 2020. Before that, there was a thinking that we need to introduce this dual degree program. That's formally it is agreed in Indian education system. It is introduced now. One time simultaneously, a student can go to a college, study his BTech or engineering or medical, any program, and formally he can get admission into an online program or even in Sanskrit college, and he can get Sanskrit degree in Sanskrit also. Similarly, in Sanskrit colleges and universities, we have made a provision for Sanskrit students. Apart from your regular degree program in Sanskrit, you can also get admission into IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University, for any core program. For example, if you want to learn statistics, take statistics course from IGNOU and get it included in your marks card in your own degree. That means simultaneously you are getting
it's an added advantage.
Added advantage. You are learning Shastra. Apart from that, you are getting knowledge of statistics. Then you can use it in your life.
See, I ask you a most important question. Are there any job opportunities by learning Sanskrit? Because the fundamentals of education itself has now become as such that the only aim of education is to get a job somehow or other. Are there any job opportunities of learning Sanskrit?
It's not incorrect, right? It is correct, very much correct.
Yeah, it has become, the reality is.
Reality, and it is the necessity.
Yeah.
If at all, after getting graduation, if one does not get a good job for life, living, and what is the use of his learning? That's the question.
Yeah.
Even in our ancient India, never we rejected this. Who said it? I mean, Sanskrit means only for moksha. Who said it? It's a wrong notion. In Sanskrit, we say Purushartha. In Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So, and Artha is also
Artha is okay. Our second priority.
It's a priority. And without Dharma, we don't take Artha as an independent Purushartha, but definitely with Dharma only we do it. But Artha is very important, and job is meant for Artha. Now the question is, once you learn Sanskrit or allied Shastras, whether you will be able to get a good job or not.
Yeah.
Right? My question is simple. The similar question if is asked after learning English, English, okay? And will you get a good job?
There is no guarantee.
Right? After completion of engineering nowadays,
yeah.
Okay? After completion of engineering, is there guarantee of
no
good
guarantee
job?
At all?
Right? Number one. This question remains same for everyone.
Yeah, every degree.
Why you are asking only for Sanskrit? Okay, number one. Number two. According to my own statistics, number is very less, okay? If you are a student of Sanskrit, you will never be a jobless.
Okay.
Okay?
So, we can guarantee that.
Guarantee that.
Okay.
Why? Many of my own students who are not into any job, they are giving jobs to others. You know why?
Okay. They are job creators.
Job creators. Jyotish, you are independent, you are not jobless, because people are interested in Jyotish, and if you are a good astrologer, you are giving advice and consultancies for the people. And in North, Karmakanda is a very great, Paurohitya Karmakanda is another temple, being the temple priest. I am saying you the least. Okay.
Minimum guarantee.
And teacher, if you get the degree of B.Ed, you will get the school teaching opportunity. And then these are the least opportunities I am telling you. Okay, you keep them aside. And then after learning Sanskrit, for job you don't require knowledge, you require skills.
Okay. What kind of?
Learn any skill along with Sanskrit.
Okay.
Why not? You are not a welcome in job market. Many of my students, along with their graduation in Sanskrit, they learned software. I mean, how to write programs and app creation, etc. They are in job market. They are earning good. And if you are good in many languages today, even Google is hiring you, right? As translator or language modeling. Large language modeling requires the language understanding skills. The language skills gives you good opportunity in software market.
Okay.
And apart from that, in entertainment, in Ayurveda, theatre, there are many opportunities.
Okay.
Only my English and Foreign Language University teaches English and foreign languages, and all the students are getting jobs in various industries, translation industry, teaching industry. Even people go to different software industries and corporates where they need people who can translate one document to another language. Sanskrit students, because their language proficiency, they know their mother tongue and other languages, and apart from that they know good Sanskrit and grammar, they can translate any document to any language. Therefore, these are the very, very vast areas where students can get opportunity. They are getting opportunities.
Okay. Actually, there is also an allegation, also a misconception that Sanskrit is a very old language, it's a very traditional language, and it cannot withstand, it cannot adapt to the modern world with the changing technological circumstances given the globalization situation. Sanskrit is just a traditional language and it cannot withstand a globalization. What's your take on it?
See, during
you would have heard this allegation.
Yeah, of course. During COVID situation, in entire India, I travel a lot and I am in communication with many universities. Sanskrit students and Sanskrit fraternity adopted the online technology very fast.
Okay.
The entire Sanskrit community and students started using online education platforms for Sanskrit, not only Sanskrit learning, examination and online other platforms. for my own surprise, many modern, so-called modern universities started getting advices from Sanskrit universities how to use technology for teaching.
Okay.
This is my own experience. Therefore, the adaptability of Sanskrit institution is much higher than any other institutions. This is my own experience. Okay. Leave it. Sanskrit fraternity is considered to be very old. But if today my students are good vloggers, they vlog and they write and they use YouTube technology for their own promotions. And now, apart from this, my own this one is learn Sanskrit. Apart from that, you hold other skills and degree programs. Apart from that, once you are in the interview room, okay, you know accountancy and or you know whatever skill that is required for that particular job. There are 10 people available in the market.
Okay.
Okay. If you say apart from that needed skills and language knowledge, you know Sanskrit as well, then you will be the first option for the job market.
Okay.
Why? Because they see some value in Sanskrit learning. What I am saying is, don't acquire a degree in Sanskrit. Apart from that, I have tens of examples in my own students who did MA program in natural language process with me, more than 20-25. All of them got good jobs in various places,
okay,
including corporate. Why? Anyway, they have got the skills in computational linguistics. Apart from that, they knew that these students are good in Sanskrit. They wanted them in the job.
Natural added advantage.
Yes, added advantage. Therefore, Sanskrit need not be a basic requirement for a job, but Sanskrit adds a value to the job market.
Are you getting enough support from the government which you expect, or the government supports you substantially?
Of course, for Sanskrit promotion, Central Sanskrit University is the nodal agency for Government of India. We are the nodal agency for Government of India, where we run the government schemes for Sanskrit promotion. We also support, financially we support all the Sanskrit institutions and language institutions who want to conduct research and teaching in Sanskrit or for Sanskrit. We support them.
Okay, what kind of support do you expect from government which they have not done till date?
See, central government of India is doing a lot of support, extending a lot of support, and we may increase some more funding, because that's quite possible, because in today's government setup they are willing to do that, and we have to increase the volume, right? But many state government should really come forward to extend the support, because in many states Sanskrit fraternity is not getting proper support from the local government. Because of that, many Sanskrit pathshalas, Sanskrit colleges, even the departments in many Sanskrit departments in the colleges and the universities, because of aid has been stopped from the state government, therefore they are closed. No students, no teachers. Therefore, Sanskrit department should be revived. That is the responsibility of local universities, and that's the responsibility of state government.
Okay.
That's not being done. That's the concern.
My one final question to you to end this podcast. So, what's your biggest goal of your life, like with regarding to the Sanskrit field, like your biggest goal to achieve?
See, I am passionate for Sanskrit learning. Okay, I am here with a passion and vision and a mission.
Yeah, okay.
That mission is very clear. Actually, Sanskrit is not a language, it's a legacy, it's a heritage. We should connect this to the future, not with the past. As I said in the beginning, my commitment for Sanskrit is to create future for India. Okay. For this, we need to create an environment where Sanskrit is used for a multidisciplinary studies in India. For that, because Sanskrit has that potential, Sanskrit is very much potential to offer many ideas. For example, recently our own university has started a new program, a novel program. It's an LLB program in Indian jurisprudence, right? To become an advocate or to become a law graduate, you should complete, after completion of your graduation, you should go for LLB program. But LLB does not offer you anything about Sanskrit or our own Indian Shastras.
Okay.
Nyaya and Mimamsa and Dharma Shastras and many other Shastras are connected with ancient Indian law. They are not taught. Our Artha Shastra, Kautilya's Artha Shastra and Mahabharata were never part of any education in legal education. Today we have started a new program and that is now acceptable for even Bar Council, and Bar Council has agreed that curricula, and now entire India, many law schools are now taking this program as part of their curricula. With this, Sanskrit can offer a new blended programs, multidisciplinary programs. One example I gave you, law. Similarly, yogic science, and we started a graduation program in civil services, civil service studies, and we can prepare Sanskrit students for civil service examinations. I mean, they can write civil service examination once they complete their studies. We have started all these things. We have started Indian knowledge systems. I mean,
it's getting very famous day by day.
Famous. And next 10 years, I tell you, more than 10 lakhs jobs for Indian knowledge seekers, who is graduated Indian knowledge with any other discipline. For example, a person who is graduated in economics with the knowledge of Indian knowledge, definitely he will be a good resource person in the next generation. Therefore, Indian knowledge systems. We also started offering Hindu studies. We also started offering programs in many other disciplines like Artha Shastra, Rasayana Shastra. So in that way, Sanskrit is now connected with the various disciplines, contemporary knowledge systems, and Sanskrit is connected with the skills.
Okay.
Once this is done, I don't think Sanskrit students have to suffer for any opportunities in the world.
Okay.
So that's the passion, and we are working towards this, and we are really happy with the results that we are getting now.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me in the podcast. It was a pleasure having you. So let's meet soon, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaskar.
இறைவன் ஒளி வடிவானவன் அப்படின்றத நான் அடிக்கடி சொல்லியிருக்கேன். அந்த தத்துவத்தை நிறைவேற்றக்கூடிய அமைப்பு தான் இது.
அதான் நீங்க ஒரு வித்தியாசமான ஒரு மகாலட்சுமி வரைக்கும் பார்த்ததே இல்ல. இந்த மாதிரி
நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் தான் குலதெய்வமாக வணங்குகின்றோம் அப்படின்றதினுடைய வெளிப்பாடு.
இந்த மாதிரி ஆன்மீகம் மற்றும் ஜோதிடம் சார்ந்த இன்னும் பல வீடியோக்கள் பார்க்கணுமா? மறக்காம திருவருள் டிவிக்கு சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. திருவருள் டிவியுடைய சேனல் லிங்க் இந்த வீடியோடைய டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கு.